The strangest thing in Stranger Things might just be the story of how a small-town police chief used a sword to kill a monster in a Russian prison. But there's more to this moment than meets the eye. How did this prop help David Harbour get into barbarian mode? Warning, spoilers ahead. The 4th season of Stranger Things might be the best yet, with plenty of wildly unforgettable moments. Chief among them might be when David Harbour's Hopper finds a conveniently placed sword in a Russian prison, and uses it to decapitate a Demogorgon. It's pretty badass, and well-deserved considering how much pain and suffering the character goes through in Season 4. He is held at a Russian prison, tortured, and is put through hell in his attempts to escape. With a little help from his friends, Hopper's journey culminates in an epic battle when he picks up a sword against one of the Upside Down's most menacing, bloodthirsty creatures, the Demogorgon. The sword was previously wielded by actor Arnold Schwarzenegger in the epic film series Conan the Barbarian, revealed David Harbour in an interview with GQ magazine. I don't know if you saw this, but that sword I pick up, it's the actual prop sword they used in Conan the Barbarian. It's the sword that Schwarzenegger swings in the movie. At first glance, Conan and Hopper are two characters that don't have much in common. After all, Conan is famous for a very specific perspective on what is best in life.
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Meanwhile, Hopper is much more of the loving father figure of the Stranger Things family. But considering the ease with which Hopper lops off the demonic creature's head, maybe the former police chief has more in common with Schwarzenegger's jacked barbarian hero than it appears. Naturally, for a star on the 80s-obsessed Stranger Things, this isn't Harbour's first brush with classic 80s fantasy memorabilia. One of Harbour's most prized possessions, he says, is a poster for Masters of the Universe, the 1987 fantasy adventure movie starring Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, a powerful and frequently bare-chested warrior who, with the help of two teenagers from Earth, must save the universe from his archenemy, Skeletor. Released at the height of the 80s fantasy craze, Masters of the Universe was a critical and commercial disaster. But it's since gained a cult following, along with Harbour's fond appreciation, in particular for the performance by one of his acting idols, Frank Langella. Harbour told Architectural Digest during a tour of his home in 2019.
I just like the fact that a really great actor that I admire could do a film in full prosthetics that wasn't received very well.
I understood that reference.
Now it's all come full circle for Harbour, who got to play out his 80s adventure fantasies in a show about 80s nostalgia, and get praised for his acting while he did it. While it may seem like Hopper's sword somehow appeared out of thin air, the prop was actually first established in the 7th episode of Stranger Things. If you'll go back, you will see that it was initially used by a not-so-lucky prisoner near the cells at the side of the gladiatorial pit, after their big Hansel and Gretel-style feast was thrown by the Russians. The 7th episode shows that the sword was just one of the many weapons locked away in a case on the wall, given to prisoners to battle the monster after the feast. Unfortunately, the poor guy who picked up the sword before Hopper wasn't as lucky. Since so many fans missed the sword when it first appeared, Harbour himself later took to his Instagram profile to point out the sword's first appearance. While this little tidbit does solve the mystery of how Hopper randomly found a sword at the prison, it still doesn't explain why this particular sword was there in the first place. Sure, the guards clearly enjoy giving the prisoners a fighting chance against the Demogorgon, but this particular sword has a distinctive design. Was there a local blacksmith in town that was a huge fan of the 1982 Conan the Barbarian movie or its 1984 sequel Conan the Destroyer? Since Season 4 of Stranger Things takes place in 1986, the timeline would check out, provided the USSR had access to Schwarzenegger movies. On the other hand, maybe this is actually the same sword that appeared in the movie, setting up a sneaky crossover between an 80s icon and an 80s set show made 30 years later. Most likely, it was just a fun Easter egg for fans to notice. But don't be surprised if you see Hopper newly muscled up in Season 5, just like the sword's previous wielder. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more SlashFilm videos about your favorite movies and TV shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.